Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mike here. It's Monday, 5 o'clock somewhere. Our little quickie update for the day. Hope you like these. If you do, make sure you like it, comment, and share, all that good stuff. Appreciate it. We'll be doing these a lot during the season. People like them. They're short, sweet, to the point, and it gives me a chance to go over afternoon models that we didn't see in the morning for the Daily Brew. So, what's cooking out there? Well, look at this. We have a lingering front. I call them linguini fronts, but lingering front, really juicing things up. This is Monday, 5 o'clock radar. Man, we got storms firing up South Georgia, Alabama, all the way through the Florida Peninsula. Really strong. We had some big thunderstorms, big hail. That's going to be going on tomorrow on Tuesday. Here's what it looks like on Weather Nerds. This is our satellite imagery. We got a weak low pressure area that's over here by the Bahamas. We talked a lot about this last week. If you remember, I did a YouTube video last week talking about the small chances. This is going to be bringing a lot of storms and rains towards Bermuda, and we do have a lot of fans in Bermuda. So they're going to get a lot tomorrow, Wednesday, maybe even to Thursday. There's a lot of wind shear shoving all that core of the system more kind of east, northeast. NHC marking it yesterday. It's down to 0%, so they're not expecting anything. But what I do have my eye on is this lingering front. That's what we're going to talk about going into Memorial Day weekend. When we get these lingering fronts, this is your storm. These are your surface charts, and they start on Thursday. So we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So there's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But what we can see here, low pressure over Florida. And these lingering fronts, this is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And you can start to see they're already starting to show a tightening up a little bit low. It's the southeast coast. Nothing to worry about. NHC hasn't even marked it yet. But history says lingering fronts sometimes produce low pressure areas. We look at some things right now. Currently, water temperatures. Holy moly, man! We just hit 90 here in Clearwater. This one just got updated. 89 down around Bradenton. We got 84 Fort Lauderdale, 86 91 down in Miami. So the water temperature is really climbing. 80 degrees is usually the magic number for tropics if they like to get going. This is the Gulf Stream, which runs across, the Caribbean up through the Gulf and then whips around Florida here. But if we do get a little low pressure area next week, we got 81, 82, 83 degrees, man. And that's warm enough for to at least get some tropical squall lines and feeder bands that will wrap around and impact the East Coast. Water temperatures, real quick on tropical tidbits, just kind of showing you the overall. Another story for another day. Water temperatures are above normal right now. But let's take a look at all the models. Stick to tropical tidbits here. Let me show you what's cooking with all the models. This is your system right now that we're watching. But as we get to the week here, you start to see these blue areas. These are lowering pressures. We talked about this last week. But there's, GFS showing a little weak spinach, 1,007 millibar. It's nothing to worry about. But hey, rain for the weekend, Memorial Day. Something to watch. Winds, waves, and we're going to have another issue here. I'm going to tell you real quick about the winds coming in towards Florida. But GFS showing, kind of low pressure area going into the weekend to watch. My Icon, I love the Icon model. It does very well at sniffing these systems out. It's been showing low pressure area, getting awfully close to the coast here, bringing in some winds. Remember, storms spin counterclockwise, so any low pressure where this is at right now is going to spin the winds in, especially towards Carolinas and Outer Banks. This would be towards the weekend. The Euro's been, showing a weak low. Nothing really organized, and same thing with the Canadian model. Nothing too organized, but enough to talk about. So, weak low pressure. Another way you can look at it here, you just this is your 850 winds here, kind of showing you as this thing develops and maybe getting a little spin here. This is the GFS, which isn't a really good model, but it does show the core of whatever kind of spinning up and towards the Carolinas on the weekend. And of course, we have the Icon kind of showing you the same thing, weak low pressure. So if anything, it's going to be kind of cool to look at. We're going to see winds. It'll look kind of tropical. Right now, models aren't showing too much. Some of your ensembles showing you, these are your individual low pressure areas. This is the system that we have marked now towards Bermuda. But you can see they're picking up, quite a few members showing low pressure. So whatever it is going to pretty much go off northeast, meaning rains, especially for the East Coast. This is your 24-hour rain map. So as we get into Thursday, maybe coastal rains here. The core of the system is still down here in the Western Atlantic. But this is the NOAA map. This is a a WPC rain map, and you can see the rains work their way into the Carolinas. This is Friday into Saturday into Sunday. So that's kind of been the same setup here with storms, possibly South Carolina, more North Carolina northward into the weekend from this little system. Now the bigger storyline I want to talk about real quick, something we kind of saw during Nicole. We get a developing low pressure system down here, spinning in counterclockwise winds. We also have a high pressure gradient to the north, and we've been seeing some pretty big wind numbers pushing into the Florida coastline and pretty much the whole eastern seaboard. These are winds, and I'm telling you what, they're really showing up pretty strong. These are right outside of Charleston, 49-mile-an-hour winds. So again, we're going to have a pressure gradient here developing with a low pressure to the south, high pressure to the north. Spiraling winds come in this way, high pressure winds come in this way, and it just creates all kinds of mess. So we're going to be watching for a lot of surf later in the week here, all the way from Virginia, eastern seaboard. Really curious about Florida with the seawall damages that we had north of Daytona Beach. This area, around Brunswick down to maybe Daytona Beach, could get a lot of issues here. This is the Euro wave map showing red, which is about 20-foot waves, not surge, 20-foot. Purple is about 30 to 40-foot waves. This is on Thursday into Friday, and this is all coming in from the northeast. So this is the kind of sneaky little story here not being talked about. But I'm really curious later in the week how much surf the East Coast is going to get, especially as this impacts towards North Florida and southern Georgia. So we could see some seawall issues and beach erosion. But as I mentioned before, here's your radar. This is tomorrow, Tuesday. If you're watching tonight, that's the actual Monday map. Here's almost deja vu. Here's Tuesday. Here's Tuesday. So almost the same exact Storm Prediction Center pattern for Florida. Storms developing because of that lingering front. So we'll keep an eye on it. Nothing official to worry about from the NHC. Remember, you can always go to Mike's weather page here. You can check out the NHC graphics. They update every day at 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 2 a.m., 8 a.m., 2 p.m., 11 p.m. Not 11. 2828. 2828. 28. You'll have a new update. So there you go. All right, we'll be live as always tomorrow morning, 9:19 Eastern, right here. And we talk a little bit longer and show puppies and ramble. Have a good evening, everybody. Bye-bye.